Hello everyone, this chapter is about writing methodologies. It's just an overview. First of all, your article will probably have following sections: title, abstracts, background or introductions, methods, results, discussions, and conclusions. Most of you would think we should start writing the title, then the abstract, followed by the introduction sections, then the method sections, result section, and the discussion sections. Finally, draw your own conclusions. But most of the productive researchers would disagree. First of all, if you are going to do this, you may end up having to revise the introduction section again and again. And more importantly, the abstract section should contain the summary of the whole articles. There is no point to start writing the abstract section first. So, the best strategy is to start from the experimental sections. The experimental sections include the method sections, result section, and discussion sections. Start from there first. Then, draw the conclusions. With this information, then you do your serious literature review and write the introduction sections. From there, develop a list of novelties of your work and write your proposed concepts or idea. And finally, write a summary and abstract for the whole paper. The abstracts basically contain the summary of the whole paper. Summaries in the sense that it will contain the summarized statements for the background or introductions. It will contain the summarized statements for the methods. It will contain the summarized statements for the results. And ideally, you don't need any statement for the discussion section. Instead, you need to have a very strong, firm emphasis statement for the conclusions. Finally, you can come up with a title for your articles. So this is the overall strategies for writing the whole articles. It's important to understand that your first draft does not have to be 100% correct. Instead of wasting all the time, you just start writing. Get the draft done first. The introduction section is always the most important sections. It's the most important sections in the sense that your reader will start reading your article from the introduction sections. If they don't find anything interesting, then most likely they will just reject your articles. If your reader is the reviewers, then they will just reject your articles. But on the other hand, the introduction section is the most difficult ones to start with. That's why we need to consider an alternative writing methodologies. And this methodology is also the one adopted by the most productive researchers. So now I'm going to summarize the way how we deal with the articles, the first draft of the articles. The first thing you need to do is to have some experimental results and then write up the methods, results, and discussion sections. And to do that, you have to do some work first. You have to do some research first. You cannot come up with the result section or method section or the discussion section out of nothing. You have to have some experimental data first. Otherwise, you are just delaying your time, delaying your work. The next thing you would do is to come up with the conclusion sections. Then do a serious literature review and double check the novelty of your work. If everything is in good order, then start writing the introduction sections. Otherwise, revise the method section, the result section, or the discussion sections. Then do another literature review. Double check the novelties. And finally, come up with an abstract. And do not forget to add some keywords. These keywords will allow the readers of your articles to find out your work. And finally, you need a title for your articles. And the last steps, restyle your paper and improve the readability. Some more tips here. If you want to avoid copyright violations, do paraphrasing. Don't quote other people's statement in the paper. And also, paraphrasing should be done in the introduction sections or the discussion sections only. It should not be done in the method sections or the result sections. And finally, I would like to recommend the video lectures from Professor Carr. His group in University of Minnesota is the most productive ones in the United States. Every year, they publish at least 500 papers. Thank you.